Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a special Ryder Cup Day 1 preview edition of the My Love of Golf podcast. And I guess if you're a European supporter like I am, it might be a somber occasion. It might be a short podcast because it looks like the USA might be running away with it. But I've got along the two main men of the day, Magic Mike and Rocket. How are you, boys?
Good, thank you.
Yep, very well, thanks, mate.
Well, they sound a little bit somber. I think on the case of Magic Mike, it might just be pre-match nerves. No, not for the Ryder Cup. It is the biggest day in his sporting calendar. It's grand final day, and his beloved Western Bulldogs, the Doggies, go the Doggies, are in the grand final, which is played today. Not in Melbourne, as it usually is, but in Perth. If you're a Melbourneite, you know that all too well. If you are from another part of the world, yes, the grand final has been taken away from the hallowed turf of the MCG. It's been secreted away by the Western Australians over there. But yes, it's the Melbourne Demons versus the Doggies. We've probably got a few golfers in each camp. Football is playing in the grand final. We've got Zane Cordy on the Doggies side. We've got Big Stevie May on the Melbourne side. I'm torn because I know both those boys and I like them both. You know, I've had them both in here playing golf and getting golf gear. So good luck to both of them. That's all I'll say. Big Stevie May is a Peninsula Kingswood member. Good luck to you, Stevie. He's been a revelation down at the Demons. But Zane Cordy and his boys, young Benny Cavaro, probably won't play today in the grand final, but another young doggy that loves his golf. Good luck to all of those guys. But we're here to talk about the Ryder Cup. And as I say, it's a fairly somber moment if you are a Europe fan, because it looks like the US have developed what might appear, maybe not. History says that it's not impossible, but it probably looks like at this moment an insurmountable lead. What do you reckon? Rocket, I'll go to you first. You probably watched the most of it.
The morning was telling. I thought the Ram Garcia and then who was that? They played JT and Spieth. That was just a cracking match, and you guys got bombed with my my Rambo gifts for like a couple of hours because he was making monster putts everywhere. He was huge. He pretty much probably carried the team. And then I thought we'd get more out of the others, and DJ and Colin Morikawa again. Everyone remembers what I said. The foursomes is all about putting a couple of ball strikers together, and you see what happens with DJ and Colin.
Well, let's talk about that first session, the foursomes. It looked like it could be going either way for a little bit there, a brief moment, but then the ascendancy just very quickly turned into the US favour. We picked the two Spaniards leading the European charge. We did pick that, as many did, and they were pretty strong. Sergio for the front nine that I watched, and then the start of the back nine. He was actually playing some great shots, and it was Rambo that probably made the first mistake by dunking that one in the water on the par five, but quickly made up for it by sinking, as you say, a few monster putts. But then just with the other boys, the pairing of Poultz and McIlroy just didn't fire. And for what I could see, both of them are leaving each other in some, deep Kagari, and it was just a struggle for those guys. So, Mike, in the morning, what did you take out from that?
Yeah, exactly what you said, mate. I think that the early match with the Spaniards versus the Golden Boys of Spieth and Thomas, I thought early days, you saw Sergio, not wayward, but he puts John Rahm in a couple of awkward spots, and they sort of were scratching around, and they only lost 1 point. They could have easily lost the first couple of holes. And to come back and just go bang, bang and win the next two was just super strength. And exactly like you said, on that par five, for Rahm to go for the green and dunk it in the water when they were already in trouble was a really interesting decision. And I think it was more than anything, that was the turning point for the vibe of probably the tournament or the game, because it was the one where I think it was Spieth who had the first putt at a birdie from about 18 feet. Now, he only had to make par to win the hole, so there was no reason for him to – there's no way they're going to three-putt from 18 feet. You tell him to pick it up. You don't get the crowd involved, but they didn't. And so they let him go. Of course, what happens? He bins the putt as it is, makes the birdie. Next hole, Sergio's got a 2-footer. Nah, you're going to putt that, mate. And then from then on, it's like, right, this is, as Sevi said, this is how we're going to play. This is how it's going to happen. And that was to set the scene for the day.
Yeah, well, it looked like it could have been going to be a bit of a European flavour there early on. There was a few other matches that were a little bit closer early on, but you look at there's so much red there. You know, you're looking at the Johnson Morikawa, the Koepka and Berger match, the Schauffele and Cantlay. You know, the guns that we'd expect, and many people have talked about. You know, on paper, these guys are the best players in the world. They should be winning, but we hope that the agitators. The Poulters and the Fleetwoods, or the Fleetwood's a different story. That was the afternoon, but we hope that those guys could have, Casey's, the Westwoods could have agitated, could have got in there, got under the skin. Just didn't happen.
Yeah, Westy was terrible. Actually, I would say that the two that were the Westy and Rory, they were ordinary. I'm pretty sure the Europeans, they've got the wrong Rory. They could have
played him as well.
They need Sabo. He's from Slovakia.
Exactly.
He's European. He could have been a European pick. The silver medalist.
Someone did talk about Rory, that the Slovakian being available, sticking his hand up there as a late fill-in if something happened. But all jest aside, Rory got sent back out in the afternoon by Captain Harington.
Yeah. Oh, it's I think I tweeted just before I gave it up last night. He looked like a little child who'd been told he had to eat his vegetables or he wasn't getting dessert. He didn't look happy. He was almost just looked broken a little bit. And he was 6 holes into a Ryder Cup. I was just shaking my head. I just was baffled. I know they weren't going well. They walked into a buzzsaw, but I was a little bit disappointed at how he went. And it just gave Poulter's going to be there to bring the juice. He's not going to rip the game apart. He just had there was no electricity at all, and he just did not get a chance at it. What were they, 5 down through 5? I think we messaged Rocket. I think I said this could be over by the 10th. The way it was going, it just really took it out. It was, yeah, to hang on.
But the thing is, though, you're right. Poulter's not there to be he's not the leader. He's that man that's just doing stuff when you kind of need it to just kind of the lifting component. And, if you're playing with someone like Rory, if you're playing with someone that's not playing well and they can get a little negative Nancy, it's very hard to bring them along, especially when it's someone like Rory, right?
Exactly.
It's very hard to kind of say to them, hey, Cocko, pull your bloody pants up, son. It's a bloody Ryder Cup.
Yeah. Was it a smart pairing in that regard? That's exactly how I see it. You've got two bulls. Rory's still a bull.
Rory is normal. Rory, it's a good pairing. But the thing is, though, I don't know if Mike, you watched the live from after it, Brandel Chambly was quite, normal Brandel Chambly style. He pulled apart the stats on Rory's performance off the tee when Pete Cowan is actually at the tournament.
Yeah. It was like 2 of his worst ever 10, and then 4 of his worst 20 or something.
Well, this is the thing that even if we digress a little bit onto Rory, I've talked about Rory before. I don't understand why Pete Cowan's even doing anything with his long game. I thought it was supposed to be just sorting out his short game stuff, because that's the biggest problem, but he's lost. And
that was hole one of the first round. Rory left Poults with that long. No, it wasn't a long putt, but it was a difficult putt in a wedge that should have been closer than it was. And was that the telltale sign of Rory's downhill spiral? We don't know. We're not inside Rory's head, but if we were inside Rory's head, I'm sure that there would be a tangled web or a maze or something that's very hard to navigate around at the moment, because it wasn't the Rory that we were expecting. It wasn't the Rory that we wanted. And, not blaming him. Anything, as I say, anything can happen. Looks unlikely.
So,
but he was probably the guy of that sub-elder statesmen. You got the elder statesmen there, the gurus, the legends, the people that Ryder Cup Europe teams built around, and then you got Rory, and he's the conduit to some of those newer guys. And when that conduit, that midfield player isn't firing, you're not going to score goals. And
no, it makes it tough for Harrington to. What do you do with the foursomes? And it might be one of those things where I haven't seen them name any of the listings. Who's teeing off, but maybe it's you've got to throw a bit of caution to the wind and actually probably putting Rory out and just going, dude, just clear head.
Yeah.
Clear head. Come out in the 4 balls and just rip them a new one and bring some of the rookie guys in and just put it on them and just go, you got nothing to lose. Like literally, they don't have anything to lose. Like they have to throw caution to the wind. You're either going to get hosed or you're going to win some matches. There's no middle ground on this one.
No, that's it. Now, like we just said just before, and I know we'll get into it, but if you think about how they're going to go in the singles on Sunday, even if they only win half, which I think they win more than half, that puts them at 12 points. They only need 2.5 points tomorrow to clinch. So tomorrow you go out there and you change it up, you mix it up, and you're going for the kill.
How do you change it up? How do you mix it up? Let's look at the afternoon pairings. We had Wiesberger and Casey. We had Rahm and Hatton. And we had Lowry and McElroy. The Irish boys should have done what the Spaniards didn't do it. And then we have Hovwood. I like that. That's we didn't get the we didn't get the Woodburger, the Woodberg or the Fleetburger. We got the Hovwood. And I'll go Hovwood
or
because
Fleetland.
Fleetland. Well, I went Hovwood because there's no Molinari, so there's no Mollywood. Mollywood goes into Hollywood. Hollywood goes into Hovwood. Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it?
There you go. No, I think, look, it's easy to say now, you're looking back at it, but I saw an interview with Padre saying he let it slip a day or so ago that everyone was going to get a game on day one, right? So that means you're sitting people from the morning that might have been hot. Now, to not play Sergio in the afternoon, I just think that's weird. Like, if you've got 2 guys that have gone super well in Rahm and Sergio in the morning, you want to break them up to try and spread the love and get a bit rub a little bit off on everyone else. Great, do that, but don't sit one of them. That's madness.
Keep that Espanol vibe going. Absolutely right,
and especially when it's 4 ball. Right, it's about being birdie machines. That's what it's all about. So you've sat one person who can be a birdie machine.
And we talked about it pre-tournament. This course is about driving the ball well, and Sergio stacks up in the top 2 or 3 of either team. So why ever sit him after he's won a point in the first morning?
So where does, in stats wise, if you've had a quick look, Mike, we talked about it in the prelude show last week.
Yep.
As you just, who's maintained, Sergio being one, who's fallen away, Rory the other one, anyone else fallen away in where they should have been, stats wise performing, where are they falling over?
I looked at it this morning, to be honest. The one that would be definitely falling over would obviously be Rory. I think someone like Poulter hasn't gone well, who's paired with Rory, but I don't think he was really setting up as someone who was going to play exceptionally well. Scheffler's a bit of a hard one to get a handle on because he only played in the afternoon. Bryson did what he had to do. I'd say all the US guys would have been bang on where you would expect them to be. Without digging into the numbers, I think that probably the people that expected to go well have gone well. The difficult part is the people that ranked poorly or rated poorly pre-tournament played poorly today or didn't get the numbers they needed to get.
I didn't see the morning, but you would have caught the end of the Fleetwood and Hovland match. Now it looks like when I did see it to the results stacking up, that was those guys were well ahead. Then just to lose 3 of the last 8 holes. What happened there?
It was all done on 16. Thomas hit I did look. It ended up being an amazing shot. It was an amazing line, and he's made an amazing eagle putt. But I don't know that he was necessarily trying to put it exactly where it ended up to get that eagle putt as it was. But he made it, so it doesn't really matter now. and it was pure Justin Thomas, Team USA. He had electricity coming out of his eyeballs after he made that, and everyone got involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and talk about the crowds. The European commentary that I was listening to were sort of making waves that the American crowd has somewhat seemed to be a little bit more respectful, being that the fact that there's very little to zero European support there, but certainly that would seem to have been proven wrong, right?
Oh, it's ugly American Central, like probably worse than ever. Like some of the reports that you hear out of there. Like I was watching again the Golf Channel stuff, and they were talking about it where I think Rory's wife got abused on the course. Yep. Someone was deliberately coughing in the back of Rahm's backswing.
Yep.
Like and it literally makes me sick to think that there are dickheads in the crowd that do this stuff. Yep. Like it's okay to cheer and boo, but don't like.
Yeah, I don't know. You bang on. It's that fine line. It's the European crowds and the Australian crowds know how to get involved but not cross the line. And the American crowds just seem to not be able to get that balance. And it's not everybody, don't get me wrong, but you only need a handful. There's a guy that was standing behind the par 3, third or fourth hole, early days this morning. And as soon as the ball would leave the club, he would, of a European player, literally as soon as it left, he'd be like, get left, get in the water. And I'd be like, are you joking? And there was one where Casey hit an absolute frozen rope. It was beautiful. And he was like, get in the water. And it landed 3 feet from the holder and rolled out to 8. And Casey's just turned around and looked at him like, all right, okay, interesting. That was an interesting comment. That sort of stuff's like, I don't know. You got to be a bit more, put a bit more thought into it.
Shout out to our listeners in America. Obviously, if you've listened this far, you've picked up that we're probably 3 more European-centric supporting podcast people here, trying to be unbiased, but we do have probably a little bit a bent towards the Europeans. You picked that up. What do you think? If you want to shout us, let us know. If you do listen, let me know. Send us an email, send us a tweet, whatever you want. But what do you think of what we just talked about? Because it's interesting. And what was interesting to see is I saw some of the footage and some of the people tweeting out and sending out stuff from the France Ryder Cup.
Yep.
And it was like being at a European football match. It was just singing and chanting and singing. It was great. There's none of that. There's none of that here. It's just such a different vibe, such a different vibe and sort of feeling and emotion. So interesting to see. If you've got something you want to share with us, please let us know. So, where to from here?
I've got the foursomes for you. If you're ready to have a look at them.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yes. So first out is Koepka and Berger versus the Spaniards. Garcia and Rahm back together. That'll be a good one.
That's good.
That'll be a really good match. Two guys that were super from Europe, and the Americans didn't play poorly. Second out again, Morikawa and DJ versus Casey and Hatton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Casey and Hatton. I don't get that one. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
If you didn't get that one, I'm not sure about the next one either. So we've got Spieth and Thomas again together. That's not a big shock, and they're playing Hovland and Wiesberger. So
actually, I don't mind that one.
He's going country and continental.
Yeah,
I think he is. Hovland and Wiesberger. I reckon that one
might match.
Yeah, I get a feeling they're going to rip him.
Okay, I'll take that.
My little Nordic death metal man, Victor, I reckon he's going to fire him up.
He's certainly in the top 10 of the coolest dudes in golf at the moment in my rankings.
Absolutely.
Not that I have a 1 to 9, but we would be in the top 10 of the cool dudes of golf. He's always smiling.
Yeah.
He's always upbeat. He's always positive. Hits the ball a mile.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
So you got burnt cheeseburger and Hovland. So you got Cheeseland, and you're in Wisconsin.
There you go. That one.
So there you go. Winning combination.
You reckon he comes out with one of those foam cheese head hats? That might work.
Should.
So what have we got? We've got
burnt on the side.
The last match out is Cantlay and Shoffley versus Westy and Fitzy.
Oh,
so again, I don't know. Westy's.
I don't get it. Who have they sat then?
They've sat
Lowry, Rory,
Fleetwood.
Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And who else?
Casey.
Oh,
no,
Poulter.
Casey's out there.
Poulter.
Yeah. Poulter.
So Poulter, Rory, Fleetwood.
I was sort of hoping for a Westwood and Fleetwood combination, just to throw a Woodwood in there. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we think about what you think about who he sat. It's not. Mr. Harrington doesn't have a lot of options, really.
No, and that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the team that's gone in. You needed the guys that were borderline to lift, and they haven't. And plus, even worse, you've got one of your top liners in Rory not going well. So it really leaves you with little options. And
then you think about on the flip side, you think about what Stricker's sat. You go, Finau and English could have played the foursomes as well.
Yeah.
Like they were awesome.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Yeah. Embarrassment of riches on the other team.
So the thing is that, he's probably worked it out and gone, do you know what? I don't need to play these dudes in the foursomes. I've got a couple of here. I can make some, I think I've got a good mix here. And it's almost like he's kind of worked it out.
Would have been a tough captain's table at the end of the day. Don't worry. With who are the captains for the European team? We've got Padri, Henrik, G-Mac, Luke. Who else? Your Kaymer, Martin Kaymer. Would have been a tough round table, that one.
I think it's the European problem is the fact that you've got so many your players that you need in form, not in form.
Mm. Okay.
I don't know. Westy. I don't know. I love Westy, but that first putt on the first hole.
And your mate. I don't know if I should put it. I don't, because I know you're still on hiatus from the socials, but I don't know if I shared it with you. But Fried Egg said, "Gee, a 4-footer on the first hole, Westy will be telling," and I don't think it got within a foot of the hole at any given time.
It didn't touch it.
If you're on the opposing team for Westy and somewhat Sergio, but he's hopefully proven them wrong. You're not giving those two boys too many from inside that far, are you?
No. And the flip side was Morikawa. So we know Morikawa is a superstar, but his putting can be off. And the first putt that he had from whatever it was, 8 feet, binned it at pace.
Mm.
But the thing is, though, because of the wind and stuff there, they've probably got the greens going a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Early in the morning. So it's probably just perfect for him.
And dewy. The
thing is, though, Colin's problem is 3 feet and in.
Yeah.
He's 8 feet away. That's...
Yeah.
I got no issue with that. It's like Adam Scott. Adam Scott, 4 feet and in, if he's out, if he's at 8 feet, we're tickety boo.
All right, so let's wrap it up. We thought we'd just do a quick one. What do you forecast at the end of when we wake up this time tomorrow? Where do we see it score-wise sitting? Are the Europeans going to turn around and pull one of those miracles out, or is it just going to be all over pretty much, and we're not even going to bother getting up for the singles because it's a dead rubber by then?
I unfortunately think it's going to be.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I think I'm looking at that, and I can see another 3-1 in the morning, and the afternoons in is what it is, and it'll be interesting from there.
Yeah. Okay. If they do a repeat. As Mike was ripping through the points, as he's the data man, that means they've only got 2.5.
Yep.
2.5 in the singles, and they're not going to lose all of them.
Yeah. You would want to be going into day 2 after with that a win, more than one win. That's what I was going to say. You'd want to have more than one win on your board to have any sort of hope.
Absolutely.
Look, let's end this on a positive. Mike, good luck to you and your dogs today.
Doggies!
So, Rocket, you're on the dogs, are you? You're going for the dogs?
Yeah, all right.
Why wouldn't
I'll
he?
go for the dogs.
Okay. I've got a foot in both camps. For a Melbourne team to two Melbourne teams, it's going to be great. Can't wait to see the grand final.
If I was to be impartial, either team win, football wins.
Yeah.
One's trying to break a curse. The other one is just the boys from the West, and they're about to pile on another flag. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yep. No, I take that. I take it. We obviously I want to see the Bulldogs win, but at the same time, if we have a good game and do our best and lose to a team that breaks the drought like we did in 16, you can't be angry about that.
Just think of the celebration up in the snowfields.
The cheese boards will be aplenty.
The cheese boards that
I'll be selling some King Island.
The 1990 Penfolds will be out.
That's it.
It's fantastic. Mike, do you notice a spike of cheese sales during this time?
It starts now. I'm not being funny. It literally starts from spring footy finals weekend, and it only goes through the roof until Christmas week.
Spring carnival, just a cheese fest for cheese platters and charcuterie plates.
That's
plenty
exactly
all around Melbourne and Australia.
And paired with beautiful cured meats.
That's it.
Absolutely, from Batocchi. I tell you what, I had a delivery of Batocchi ham. The guys from Batocchi Marketing sent some cheese. Not cheese, sorry, that's King Island. That's your team, Mike. The guys from Batocchi sent all the drum and golf franchisees a little care package, a little love package of some ham, cured meats the other day, and we shared that up. Me and Corey took that because we've been doing the lion's share of the load, and tell you what, it's good gear, the Batocchi. I'd love to complement that with some King Island cheese, Mike, if if
I ever get back to a dairy or the office, I'll be able to get my hands on something.
126 Franklin Street. Very good. Guys, what about the setup? Just in closing, what about the setup? Because should we use this, live studio? Yeah, I know people are probably, if they see this on the video, they're probably going to think we're at Whistling Straits live, next to Brandel Chambly, but we're not quite. Well, we'll try and do more of this live studio.
What is it called in the AFL when they go to the score review? What's that the hub or? There's some sort of little...
Yeah, the hub.
That's where you are.
I could be kingy. I'm the kingy. I'm the kingy of the team. G'day, out of here. We've had this bloke and this bloke and this bloke. He's got a lift. He's got a lift. He's got to do some more. Anyway, a bit of fun. We'll try and do some more of this different stuff. And thank you if you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. Just want to say thank you to you. It's another video on there from Industry Insider with Matt Austin from Ping. If you're a Ping guy, or girl, go and listen to that. It's a little bit of a story about Matt Austin, who's made a life and career playing Ping and representing the Ping brand. So thanks. Jump over to the YouTube channel and look at that. And we'll keep putting some podcast material out on that as well. Appreciate you listening. We'll see you next time on the My Love Golf podcast when we have a debrief probably of the Ryder Cup. Let's see what happens. And we'll catch up with you next week. All right. Thanks for listening.